Hey fam, I want to tell you about a new podcast called Reimagining Democracy for a Good Life. We know about people threatening democracy, don't we? But there are also people coming together across racial lines to seize this moment and stretch democracy to serve all of us. Join longtime equity advocate Angela Glover Blackwell for Reimagining Democracy for a Good Life, a podcast that asks, how do we build a radically inclusive, thriving, multiracial democracy? And looks at what one city, Los Angeles, is doing to try to make it a reality. Reimagining Democracy for a Good Life is available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Every other president had been heralded, even the ones who did more harm than good to their nation. He gave everything to unite the country in a time of war, and yet his story would go untold for over a century. This is 2-Minute Black History, what you didn't learn in school. War had plagued the Americas from north to south for over a century. People were fighting for their liberation from European rule. In the northwestern region of South America, a nation was at war with Spain and itself, and he fought to end both. Juan José Nieto Gil, a man of humble beginnings, was born into a country torn asunder. One side was more conservative, while the other was more liberal. They wanted freedom from Spain, but couldn't determine sovereignty. Some condoned slavery, while others wanted its end. Gil desired peace, unity, and equity for everyone, including his fellow Afro-Colombians. He donned a military uniform to dispel the Spanish and again to unify the country. When the fighting ceased, he turned to politics, hoping for brighter days. Gil waged war again to reunify the country. Though brief in his reign, he succeeded in creating the provisional government foundation that would become the United States of Colombia. He spent his life championing the freedom of his people from oppression. The first and only Black president in its history, his legacy has been largely erased. The world jumps through hoops to erase our greatness, but our power and shine will never be diminished. In order to move towards the future, you've got to look to the past. This has been 2-Minute Black History, a podcast by Push Black. If you enjoyed this episode and want to show your support, please rate and subscribe to our podcast. Together, let's celebrate and honor the legacy of Black history.